Good morning. You are listening to WSCC-FM. I'm Jeremy Walter, bringing you our top story for today. Over the past few days, dangerously cold temperatures continue to spread throughout central portions of the U.S. and appear to be headed towards the Pacific and eastern regions. What started out as an unusual weather phenomenon in the city of Boulder, Colorado, has turned into a massive snowstorm that has consumed the entire state and other neighboring areas. Stations KOA AM in Boulder, Colorado and KFAB in Omaha, Nebraska have reported significant temperature drops down to 50 degrees below zero and snow accumulations of up to 20 inches. Wind speeds exceeding 40 miles per hour have also been reported with these storms. These stations have already gone off the air due to the extreme weather conditions. Our last report received from our correspondent in Boulder states that the winter storm appears to be spreading outwards to other states, and that people residing on the East Coast should prepare for the storm's impact. The blistering cold temperatures have already been reported in Arizona, Kansas, Montana, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Utah. This storm only appears to be growing stronger as it freezes everything in its path, and whatever is behind this storm, it doesn't appear to be going away soon. In other news, disbanded members of the research team Polaris have been recalled yesterday evening as the threat of the
This is NOAA Weather Radio. Station WXM63 in Rapid City, South Dakota. This broadcast originates from the National Weather Service office in Rapid City, South Dakota, operating on a frequency of 162.55 MHz. Here is the local forecast for the Rapid City metropolitan area. Today, mostly cloudy. Highs in the mid to upper 40s. Northwest wind around 10 miles per hour, with gusts of up to 35 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 40%. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Lows in the upper 30s. Northwest wind around 20 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 50%. Sunday, cloudy, with a 50% chance of snow. Highs in the lower 50s. Northwest wind at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday night, cloudy, with a 50% chance of snow. Lows in the mid to lower 40s. West wind at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Monday. For the following counties, in South Dakota: Bennett, Butte, Custer, Fall River, Hawken, Jackson, Lawrence, Meade, Oglala Lakota, and Pennington. High wind warning in effect from 11:28 a.m. to 5 p.m. this evening. Watt, northeast wind 30 to 40 miles per hour, with gusts of up to 65 miles per hour. Where, Bennett, Butte, Custer, Fall River, Hawken, Jackson, Lawrence, Meade, Oglala Lakota, and Pennington. When, from 11:28 a.m. to 5 p.m. this evening. Impacts: damaging winds will blow down trees and power lines. Widespread power outages have already been reported. Travel is extremely dangerous in affected counties. If possible, remain in the lower level of your home and avoid windows. Travel is strongly discouraged. Do not travel. Winter weather alert. A winter storm originating from Boulder, Colorado has now expanded into Idaho and surrounding states. Expect unusually low temperatures and high wind gusts to move into our area this afternoon. Freezing is expected in counties south of Idaho. Residents are advised to be prepared for imminent winter weather conditions, as this storm is expected to cover the entire state in the following weeks. For the following counties, in Idaho: Bannock, Bear Lake, Caribou, Franklin, Oneida, and power. Freeze watch in effect from 11:35 a.m. to 6 p.m. this evening. What? Temperatures as low as 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Where? Bannock, Bear Lake, Caribou, Franklin, Oneida, and power. When? From 11:35 a.m. to 6 p.m. this evening. Impacts: frost and freeze conditions could kill crops and other early season sensitive vegetation. Take steps now to protect plants from the cold.
Five new states have been added to the list of states consumed by the winter storm. This winter phenomenon continues to grow and spread to the rest of the United States, freezing everything and everyone caught in its path. States east of Colorado have already reported significant temperature drops over the past 2 weeks. From the way this storm has been expanding, it seems that states west of Colorado are expected to be impacted much later, as movement appears to be significantly slower compared to the storm's movement towards the Atlantic. Our most recent report came from the station WWF 81 in EUREKA, which has already reported increasing wind gusts and expected temperature drops to follow up as the storm passes through Utah.
For the following counties, in Nevada, Clark, Eureka, Lincoln, Nye, and White Pine. High wind warning in effect from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. this evening. What? Northeast winds 25 to 30 miles per hour, with gusts of up to 45 miles per hour. Where? Clark, Eureka, Lincoln, Nye, and White Pine. When? From 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. this evening. Impacts: damaging winds will blow down trees and power lines. Travel is extremely dangerous in high-speed wind gusts. If possible, remain in the lower level of your home and avoid windows. Travel is strongly discouraged. Do not travel. For the following counties, in Nevada, Clark, Eureka, Lincoln, Nye, and White Pine. Wind chill warning in effect from 12 p.m. Saturday to 11 a.m. Sunday. What? Heavy snow and dangerously cold wind chills. Snow accumulations of 4 to 8 inches. Wind gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. Wind chills as low as 40 degrees below zero. Where? Clark, Eureka, Lincoln, Nye, and White Pine. When? From 12 p.m. Saturday to 11 a.m. Sunday. Additional details: travel could be very difficult. The dangerously cold wind chills can cause frostbite on exposed skin in as little as 10 minutes. A wind chill warning means a combination of very cold air and wind will create dangerously low wind chill values. Frostbite can occur quickly and even hypothermia or death if precautions are not taken.
It's the middle of spring, and just when you thought the winter weather had finally moved out for December, snow has begun to fall out of seemingly nowhere. Or so we thought. For the past 4 weeks, a strange weather phenomenon has been spreading throughout the United States, bringing back blistering cold temperatures unlike anything ever recorded. States have already placed travel restrictions as this storm continues to consume and freeze everything it touches. So far, the state of Texas has reported the expected temperature drops and surging wind gusts. But the early signs of snow means that this storm is already among us. If you are hearing this message, make sure you are prepared for the storm's impact, and stay tuned to your local news station for any new updates to this.
For the following counties, in Texas, Culberson, El Paso, Hudspeth, Jeff Davis, Loving, Presidio, and Reeves. Winter storm warning in effect from 12:15 p.m. Saturday to 11 a.m. Sunday. What? Snow expected. Total snow accumulations of 6 to 10 inches. Where? Culberson, El Paso, Hudspeth, Jeff Davis, Loving, Presidio, and Reeves. When? From 12:15 p.m. Saturday to 11 a.m. Sunday. Additional details: travel could be very difficult. A winter storm warning for snow means severe winter weather conditions will make travel dangerous. If you must travel, keep an extra flashlight, food, and water in your vehicle in case of an emergency.
As you may have heard, a winter storm warning has been issued for El Paso. This winter storm has already moved into Texas and has already caused some accidents on the freeway. The Texas Highway Patrol has been called in to assist in some evacuations, but are having trouble with getting to the affected roads. We have received reports outside of Texas that travel has been nearly impossible due to a dangerous freezing phenomenon happening with the storm. We haven't experienced it here yet, but I'm certain that this will all be coming towards us soon.
The civil authorities have issued a local area emergency for Culberson, El Paso, Hudspeth, and Jeff Davis, beginning at 12:15 p.m. and ending at 8 p.m. this evening. KTSM. The following message is transmitted at the request of the El Paso Office of Emergency Management. As of 12:15 p.m., a reported cloud of mist has been spotted moving into the mentioned areas under the winter storm warning. Flash freezing has been reported with this cloud formation, and all buildings and infrastructure have been frozen upon contact. Residents in the mentioned counties are ordered to seek shelter from the storm, as this phenomenon has already claimed the lives of 10 people. Widespread power outages have been reported with this storm. Ensure you have a flashlight and a battery-powered radio in case the power goes out.
This is WWL-AM. This station is currently in emergency programming. For those of you just tuning in, a winter storm originating from Boulder, Colorado has expanded into the states in the Central Time Zone this week. 5 additional states have unfortunately been consumed by the winter storm. They are Arizona, Kansas, Montana, New Mexico, and Utah. These states have been completely frozen over due to a mysterious flash freezing phenomenon caused by a cloud formation of mist. It is speculated that similar flash freezing events could occur in the following days of the first reports of the storm. Currently, temperature drops and flash freezing have been reported in the following states: Arkansas, Idaho, Missouri, Nevada, South Dakota, Texas, and Wyoming. Some of these states have reported temperature changes in the past 4 weeks, but it appeared that the weather there would soon return to normal up until this week. New Orleans has yet to report any significant weather changes, but the winter storm is yet to pass through the state of Texas.
The civil authorities have issued a civil emergency message for the entire state of Louisiana, beginning at 1:50 p.m. and ending at 9 p.m. Sunday. WWLAM. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness. A state of emergency may exist for the state of Louisiana. Severe winter weather conditions have moved through Texas and have entered Louisiana and to the neighboring states. Residents are advised to be prepared for a decrease in temperatures as this storm moves towards the Atlantic. Head indoors if you have not already done so. Travel on roads is strongly discouraged as vehicle accidents have occurred on major roadways. This storm will make traveling extremely dangerous even with an immediate evacuation has been issued for the city of New Orleans. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness. A series of fighter jets have crashed into multiple locations throughout New Orleans. Fighter jets have crashed into the following areas: Jackson Square, Louis Armstrong New Orleans International Airport, and the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Additional fighter jets are expected to crash into other locations, but cannot be determined at this time. Due to the uncertainty of these attacks, all civilians receiving this message are ordered to evacuate out of New Orleans. Gather all essential supplies when evacuating out from the city. Evacuate to states east of Louisiana to avoid the impending snowstorm. Once again, an immediate evacuation has been issued for the city of New Orleans. Evacuate to states east of Louisiana. Do not attempt to evacuate to states west of Louisiana, as you may get caught in the snowstorm expected to impact soon.
For those of you just tuning in, a state of emergency has been declared for the state of California, as a winter storm from Colorado has already made its way into Fresno and other cities in the past hour. The governor has made it clear that everyone in California must be ready to survive the storm that has already claimed the lives of millions in the past 4 weeks. If you are hearing this message, your time to act is now. Gather all essential supplies you need for at least 2 weeks, and ensure that your shelter is safe to ride out the storm. Vehicles are not considered safe shelters. People have been found frozen inside their cars in an attempt to ride out the storm. If you are on the road, abandon your vehicle and head to a safe place of refuge. Roads in and out of California are being closed at this time to limit the amount of traffic accidents and
The civil authorities have issued a law enforcement warning beginning at 3:26 p.m. and ending at 8:26 a.m. KFSN. The following message is transmitted at the request of the California Office of Emergency Services. As of 3:25 p.m., a reported flash freezing event has occurred in the city of Clovis. This phenomenon has prompted the evacuation of the entire city, as numerous explosions from an unknown source have occurred with this storm. An immediate evacuation may be issued if flash freezing occurs, or if explosions continue to spread into the city of Fresno. If you are on the road and plan on evacuating, evacuate to cities near the coastline. Do not attempt to leave the state of California. Driving interstates east of California may put your life at risk.
a law enforcement warning has been issued for Fresno as the winter storm continues to freeze cities in its path. We are starting to see snowfall over here and increasing wind gusts. Trees are being swept around as civilians are trying to leave the streets. People are already leaving their cars to find a safe shelter here, but others are simply wanting to leave the city. I would have left a long time ago, but we've barricaded ourselves here in our studio. It's only a matter of time before flash freezing begins to move into Fresno. The governor has not ordered anyone to evacuate at this time, but it appears that evacuations will be issued soon if the storm worsens, or if it... What is that? Is that a jet? Get down! Tonight, we cover the ongoing winter phenomenon that has struck the United States and continues to spread to the rest of the country. But first, we will go over the recent breaking news of the sudden aerial attacks occurring this evening. It began with unexplained explosions, accompanied with the winter storm that has been expanding since its first report in Boulder. Some have come to believe that these explosions were the result of a transformer malfunction or potential gas leaks. However, these claims were quickly refuted when a series of fighter jets began to bombard the city of New Orleans from what appeared to be a kamikaze operation. Eventually, these attacks were reported in Fresno sometime this evening, which prompted an immediate evacuation of the whole city. We are unsure of when the next attack will occur, but states expected to be impacted by the storm this week may be possible targets of attack. Some have come to believe that these attacks are being carried out by the terrorist group known as the Firestorm faction. However, this group has been off the radar for some time since the beginning of this storm.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. A confirmed terrorist attack is taking place at this time. As of 5:47 p.m., the North American Aerospace Defense Command has detected a series of 80 fighter jets entering the skies above the United States. These fighter jets are expected to crash into the following locations: Boulder, Colorado, El Paso, Texas, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, and Watford City, North Dakota. Citizens in the Pacific time zone are ordered to head to an underground shelter or evacuate from the target cities at this time. Citizens in the Central time zone are ordered to evacuate to states in the Eastern time zone. While the contents of the jets cannot be determined at this time, citizens are to find an underground shelter and prepare an emergency kit of food, water, and medical supplies. Do not attempt to evacuate into states in the Mountain time zone, as you face certain death from the snowstorm. The President of the United States will be speaking.
Stand by for the following transmission. Now that we have your attention, I believe it is time that we tell you what is really happening. If it isn't obvious enough, this snowstorm is soon to kill off what is left of the United States in the following weeks to come. Most members of the faction have scattered after their little disaster at Boulder. If you want the whole story, then so be it. We are here to take back what was once ours. A new society, reborn from the ashes of this disaster-ridden country. Ever since its first attack in Los Angeles, the United States has done a pitiful job at protecting its own from foreign invaders. Not once were they able to protect these innocent families from rogue factions or a cybernetic takeover. What good does this country have to offer that you've put faith in a team that supports the same people who tried to end not just this country, but the world in a matter of hours? We were made to protect you from threats like these, but even when the signs are obvious, you're nothing more than just sitting ducks. Now it's time for everyone else to do something for once, before you get what you f***ing deserve. Once these jets crash into their intended targets, you are to evacuate as far away from the storm's path as you possibly can. This is your wake-up call. You can thank us later when we return and burn down what is left of this crumbling society. The United States cannot be changed. Only through its ashes may be reborn. Long live the firestorm.
Good afternoon. This is KMJX, bringing you updates to the current winter weather phenomenon that has been pummeling the United States for the past 4 weeks. At this time, we have received numerous reports of flash freezing occurring since the storm has moved into Arkansas. A large cloud formation has swept through counties west of Little Rock, and these areas have been turned into barren wastelands of frost, to say the least. Witnesses have reported seeing cars sliding on roads before completely freezing, vegetation coated in thick layers of ice, and, most horrifically, frozen bodies found outdoors and in abandoned homes. A few survivors have taken shelter inside their homes, but it won't be long before the cold takes over. Emergency services have been rendered inoperable, and contact with said services have been nearly impossible due to the massive power loss. Transmission lines have been frozen to a point where the wind alone has snapped them off. At this time, residents are now mandated to head indoors as soon as possible. Find a safe place of refuge if you are outdoors, and brace for the storm's impact. Vehicles are not safe to remain in, as countless deaths have been reported on the road. Abandon your vehicle and head indoors immediately. Power outages are expected, so be sure to tune into the station with a battery-powered radio in case you lose power. Follow all warnings and alerts issued by the Emergency Alert System, and tune into NOAA Weather Radio for any new updates to the winter storm. I'm being told that we have received an important announcement from a
Connection has been established. Thank you for connecting with the research team Polaris. Please stand by for the following message.
Citizens of the United States, I am a representative of the research team Polaris, and I am here to address the nation's current threats that is soon to consume the entire country, and everyone within it, if we fail to prepare for the worst. First and foremost, I would like to clarify that this storm is far from natural. This weather phenomenon is the work of what was once known as the firestorm faction. Ever since the first report of the winter storm, our researchers have been baffled as to what could have caused this cloud formation to expand from the Aspen Meadows to Colorado to the rest of the United States. Days after the storm has consumed the entire state, we received what was supposed to be a call from an abandoned location from the Aspen Meadows. Upon further investigation, we discovered that this was the final call from the Firestorm Faction's testing base before it was completely frozen. Our best guess is that an experimental weapon utilizing supercooling abilities went completely awry. Which brings us to our second point. Ever since the attack upon Indianapolis, we've seen no activity from a strange individual who has been on our radar since her first appearance in Chicago. This individual is Yukina. She possesses unusual supercooling abilities, far from anything that exists in our current world. For those of you who are unaware of the news, it has come to our attention that Yukina has been captured by the Firestorm faction, and is possibly responsible for this weather phenomenon currently spreading through the United States. Yukina may not be aware of the destruction she is doing, let alone conscious to be wielding such unprecedented power. If this is the case, then the world as we know it is in danger of meeting the same icy fate as Colorado and other states have. At this time, we have recalled several members from across the globe to discuss a possible plan to combat this storm. We are running out of time to come up with a solution and are unable to assist you and others caught in the path of a storm. We can, however, tell you this. We have planned out a recovery mission to save Yukina from the Aspen Meadows. We are currently developing gear for us to traverse the dangerously cold areas in hopes of saving what is left of the United States. Until then, citizens are advised to prepare and survive for what will come. Ensure that everyone, friends and family, are safe and inside a sturdy structure. While we might not be as strong as they are, there is one thing that the supernova has taught us. Everyone, regardless if you are a friend or foe, is needed for our survival. This is your wake-up call, Firestorm. Wherever you are, and however many of you are left, we need your help, just like you need ours. Think about what is at stake here. Don't let the collapse of the North Star, what was once your regime, hold you back. Thank you.